He was an ex-Jesuit, and he exposed it. He exposed what is going on. Dr. Rivera explained that when he was under the extreme oath of the Jesuits, he was told that a secret sign was to be given to the Jesuits worldwide when the ecumenical movement, this is the movement to bring all Christians together and have a group hug, had successfully wiped out Protestantism in preparation for the signing of a concordant between the Vatican and the US. I have to tell you that these agreements cover all sorts of countries now. Arab, Muslims, everybody. And this term I've just started bringing in, they're all having a group hug. And when did this take place? When did this sign go out to all the Jesuits worldwide? The sign was to be when a president of the US took his oath of office facing an obelisk. For the first time in US history, the swearing-in ceremonies were moved to the west front of the Capitol, and President Reagan faced the Washington Monument. This happened January 20, 1981. So you see, there are strings controlling the puppet, and they are invisible. They're like a fishing line. The modern fishing lines, nylon, I know they've been around a long time, but they're modern still. They're totally invisible in the water. And they are being manipulated, and you don't even know. I've said it so many times, you know, when God says something is important, if He says it's important, as far as I'm concerned, it's important. I said it a couple of nights ago, and we were speaking about the Sabbath. And I've said that the Roman Catholic Church challenges the non-Catholics to prove from the Bible why they keep Sunday, because they know it cannot be done. And here it is. Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change from Saturday to Sunday was her act, and the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical power and authority in religious matters. That's C.F. Thomas, Chancellor of Cardinal Gibbons. We've got the videos, not my own, other people's videos. Professor White, he gives you chapter and verse. We have to understand that the Pope, as, quote, Vicar of Christ, he is in place of God. He literally thinks he is God. And he says, whatever I say, God has to do. How blasphemous is that? But these people have crept in unawares into your church. That's what it said there just now. 1981, they said we have taken over all the main churches. And with that going on, with the witches of Dr. Rebecca Brown going into the churches, and the Satanists, and the Freemasons, we have got a mess. And we don't know. We are so deaf, we are so blinded, we are so rebellious that we let them call the tune and we just dance. We just dance to their tune. Sunday is our mark of authority. Of course your church has nothing to do with the Roman Catholic Church. I know that because you tell me so. Jehovah's Witnesses have nothing to do with the Roman Catholic Church. They need to go and study their history. They need to look at what day they worship. All the Baptists, the evangelical, this, that, and the other. As I said last night, I think it was, or the night before, Hagee's now hugging up the Catholics, saying, I was really, really wrong. I should have been much nicer to you guys. You're not bad at all. He is one of them. In your organization, there are similar people. But as Rebecca Brown said in her book, Elaine said from Rebecca Brown's book, it's tailored to meet your specific group's needs. If you consider a church like the one I attended for many years, the Worldwide Church of God, it's no good starting out with going down with candles and bowing down and things like that. But you know, they have shifted to Sunday worship. From the Sabbath, they knew about the Sabbath, they knew about the holy days, they knew about clean and unclean meats, they knew quite a lot. But I think the entire American church doesn't exist anymore. When we said this was going to happen and we told this to Joseph Tekach, he laughed at me. He laughed. But it's happening. When I moved to Northampton, there were 150 people attending the service. Now if they have 20, they're having a great day. You see, they will not accept that the Jesuits have infiltrated the church. But they have. There's no question about it. Sunday is our mark of authority. Listen to this. The church is above the Bible. The Bible claims to be the Word of God. It claims to be what God is in print. It tells us everything we need to know about Him, His character, how we should live. But our puppet masters say, no, don't worry with it. Ignore it. Ignore the Old Testament. That's Old Covenant. You know, when you read Jeremiah, you see it says, in the last days you shall consider it. We are in the last days now. It then says, and in the last days you shall consider it perfectly. We couldn't understand it until now. And now, God has raised up people. As I've said, I don't know who the other people are, but what I do know is they exist. And in due time, God has said, I will introduce you to them. Now, you just do what I've told you. And therefore, what do? I do what I'm told. The church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of the fact. It goes on. By their own words, they tell us that Sunday observance is the mark of the beast. Remember that Satan, the devil, gave the Catholic Church its power and great authority in the world. Since the papacy is doing the bidding of the devil, it is the devil who wants the world to break God's Sabbath commandment and worship the papacy on Sunday. So who are you worshipping when you go to your meetings on a Sunday? You're worshipping the papacy, of course.